are you joining?
I'm headed to Pomona College in California and I'm really excited.
What excites you the most?
California, in fact, to begin with, then the liberal arts education, the small college environment, I think everything.
So which major have you decided to pursue?
I'm actually totally undecided, inclined towards English, but still undecided.
So when you started applying, you didn't have a specific major in mind?
Not really. I applied to some colleges as an undecided applicant and to some as an English major because I found my application to be strong in English. So I weighed the pros and cons and accordingly.
Did you have an SAT preparation strategy while you were preparing?
Not exactly a preparation strategy, but I worked to improve anything that I found weak. So I started with critical reading. I think most people have problems there. I worked a lot on the vocab. With math, I worked a lot on the particular strategies with all the formulas. And with writing, I think it just came with a lot of reading, with a lot of studying of writing. I think I worked a lot on the balance workbook and it really helped.
Oh, great. So how many times did you take the SATs?
I took it thrice, and the second time, in fact, my score dropped. So that was a letdown. But then I think it's time. I just had to study again, take it a third time, and it all worked out.
So any advice that you would like to give to future applicants?
Please work early. I did it at the last minute. I cried on the phone to ma'am because I remember my early application and it was to my dream college and I messed it up. So I remember calling ma'am, crying, saying, "Ma'am, I messed up my application," and it was all because it was literally 12 AM and I had to hit the send button. So work early, get it all in place, check your application like thrice before you submit it. And other than that, make sure your grades are up to the mark, your essays are really to the point, and they actually represent what you are.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all. Hi Karan.
Hi ma'am.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So Karan, which college are you joining?
I'm going to be joining New York University, the Stern School of Business in August.
Wow. So which major have you decided to pursue there?
I really am focused on doing finance and I'm focusing on double majoring in economics.
Oh great. So you always knew which majors you wanted to pursue, or it sort of evolved?
I totally knew that finance is going to be my future field, and New York University is highly rated for finance and as well as economics. The professors of economics, two of them are Nobel laureates, so I'm really excited to study under them. And all my colleges that I applied to, I was thinking of applying to only the business schools. So that had been my strategy while applying to the colleges.
So was writing application essays a challenge or did it come easy?
It was kind of a challenge because when you start writing the essay, you have to face the inner roadblocks, the mental roadblocks that you have, because you have to reach your own core and understand yourself. You have to know your weaknesses, you have to know your strengths. So each day is a different challenge because you have to analyze yourself and then put it on paper.
Okay, good. So did you have an SAT preparation strategy in place while you were taking your SATs?
Definitely, I'm very good at writing and reading. So earlier I used to study writing and reading, do CR writing, but in my first SAT they were my main focus. Once I got a good score in writing and critical reading, I started to focus on my math, and I studied math for a week, like 4 hours every day, but then slowly I reduced the amount of time to 3 hours and 2 hours, and like at one point I was doing only 15 minutes of math every day. So basically it was about being regular and it was about being focused on doing a regular amount of math every day. It's not like you have to do 6 hours, 5 hours throughout the year.
Did you have an application strategy in place in terms of did you do an early decision? Did you do 1 or 2? Did you plan this entire thing out?
Yeah, I had to do early decision 2 to New York University because I thought that that was the best bet for finance. So I was pretty adamant on going to New York.
Okay. And any advice for future applicants while they're drawing up the university list or while they're writing their essays?
Definitely. The only advice I'd give is be yourself and don't procrastinate. You have to be on time and just completely forget about everything else, all the other distractions, and focus on the American application first and then the CBSE later, because some people get confused whether to focus on the CBSE or the American application. And just be happy and be patient, everything will be completed, and once you get in, the only advice I'll give to you is don't forget to pack your sunglasses. Your future is so bright, you'll need them.
Thanks so much. Thanks. So Siddhant, which college are you joining?
I'm going to Carnegie Mellon for computer science.
Okay, great. So are you excited about going to college?
I wasn't just excited, yeah.
What excites you the most about Carnegie Mellon, computer science?
A, it's the new environment that I'll be in. B, it's the independence that I'll have because I'm the only child of my parents, so it's going to be all new to me.
Oh, good. So how easy was it to get admission into Carnegie Mellon? Did you have any application strategy that you used? How did it happen?
Well, I decided to go early. I tried to get my application into as many early action programs I could, and I applied early decision to Carnegie Mellon, which I feel really helped out because A, it boosts your acceptance rate or the acceptance probability, and B, it also gave me a lot more free time later on because by December 15th I knew where I was going. Yeah.
Oh, good. So how easy was it to write your essays?
For me, the biggest obstacle really was my initial writer's block. Once I understood how I could market myself, once I understood how they'd be grading me, I was able to formulate my views and articulate my views more effectively. So I wrote a lot of drafts, I worked on a lot of different ideas, and at this one point I knew which idea was going to make the best impression and I went ahead with that.
So what about your SATs? How important were your SAT scores in the entire process? And did you have a strategy of preparing for these SATs?
Well, the initial fault that I made was I started too late. So I knew that I'd have only one chance at my SAT 1s and 2s. So I decided to put all my effort into it. So basically it was, I made SAT practice more of a habit. So by the end of it, I knew the whole process of how to write the SAT, how to focus my concentration throughout that 4-hour period that I'll be writing the test. So honestly, I didn't find it very difficult. It was all about focusing.
Any advice to future applicants?
One advice that almost everyone gives nowadays is don't procrastinate. You have to start early, plan it out, prioritize the colleges that you really want to go to, write the supplements first. So work on it in a correct order of priority. That I think would really help out everyone.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Siddhant. All the best for college.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Which college are you going to?
I'm going to the University of Chicago.
And which major are you planning to pursue?
I plan to major in economics.
So was that always your choice or it sort of evolved along the way?
It's pretty much always been my choice from the start of the application process. 11th I was confused, but at that point of time I wasn't even sure of applying to the US. So I was thinking of going to engineering or something technical. But then I started looking at my school grades. I took the APs in economics in 12th, early 12th, and that's when I realized that I really do have an interest in that subject. So that's when the shift sort of changed, and that's when the application process started. So it's been the same from the start of the application process, but not from the start of the 11th grade, but from the start of the 12th grade basically. That's been my intended major throughout the process, yeah.
Oh, great. So how did your university list evolve?
Well, I took the list that you had given us, and that really helped me a lot. In the university list, basically, earlier I was all focused on IVs, and I was basically thinking those are the only places worth going to, which is so not true now. I realize that, and that's really how it evolved. I looked at the IVs, then I started looking around the IVs, and I looked at the list you gave, and I kept that in mind that we need to have a certain number of greens, targets, and safeties. So that's how it evolved, and I basically used your list, and I searched around colleges on College Confidential. I talked to my seniors, I talked to my school counselor as well, and it pretty much, with the list I kind of went along with the flow. I realized these are the good colleges, and that's where I'm applying. And of course, with keeping a couple of safeties and a couple of targets as well. And for economics, I knew that University of Chicago is one of the best, so that really was there from the very start.
So University of Chicago was pretty much on your dream list?
It was definitely on top of my dream list.
So tell us about your application strategy. Was there a strategy that you were following?
Well, I'd heard a lot about the University of Chicago essays, and to be honest, when I first saw the prompts, I freaked out. I didn't think I could write on those, because the University of Chicago is usually looking for the unconventional, wacky types, and that's anything but what I am. So, but eventually I did get it. So they're not just looking for that; they're also looking for other stuff that needs, and then they're fine with broadening their horizons. So I focused mainly on the essay for the University of Chicago, And I believe now I've got to know that University of Chicago really values the academic record a lot. It's still essay is the do or die in Chicago, so that's the thing. And essays, I would say for University of Chicago, we really go through all the prompts at first and don't go by the first one. So in first read, the essay topics might sound like you can't think of anything, but basically you need to spend time with them. It takes a lot of time, this essay. There'll be several. First of all, there won't be anything. There'll be writer's block. Then there'll be a lot of drafts. At least 5 or 6 drafts will go through. That's when you'll have a good essay. And what it also looks for is, especially in the field of economics, is because a lot of people apply and they have a very strong reputation for economics. So they look for what is driving you to economics. So they're looking for your passion in the subject, and passion goes beyond school grades. It's your extracurriculars, it's what you're writing. I would recommend not getting economics into the main essay, but you can do that too. What I used is the one optional essay, which is something what tell us about the books you like to read. So I mainly wrote about the magazines, The Economist, which I like to read, and I wrote about books on economics as well as of course other stuff. So that really showed them that he has interest outside the classroom in economics, and he's an interest in world affairs relating to the field of economics. Then in the Why U Chicago essay, which is a very important essay also, I wrote about my interest in economics and how I would fit in there. The mistake I was making was that I was describing the university as if to an outsider, whereas actually it's going to be read by an insider, an admissions counselor. So what he or she needs is to imagine you as a university, and you need to tell them what you'll do with the opportunities. And University of Chicago has a lot of opportunities in this field. So I wrote about that, and I linked up my current research, internships, experience, reading with what I would do at the university. So that's really how I showed my entire application, not just for Chicago but for most universities, were quite focused on economics. So that's a bit of a gamble. So, but it paid off at Chicago, so I'm happy.
Excellent. So any advice to future applicants?
Well, the advice would be focus on the essays, especially if it's U Chicago. First thing's the essay. The other advice I would give is that you need to be academically good. There's no doubt about it. There would be a dip in the 11th, but you should try your best to pull your socks up in the 12th grade. And standardized testing scores, a lot has been said about them, but what they do is they give you a boost to your application. So, but what people think is they can make up for bad school grades with good standardized testing scores. That is not true. However, vice versa is partly true. Even if you've not done that well in standardized testing, if you have good school grades, that can still push your case. Of course, the ideal is both of them be good. So I would ask them to focus on that. What people tend to do is they don't focus on that, and the other thing they do is they don't focus on their essays. So what people are just doing is they're building up their resume all the time. Extracurriculars. US universities are looking for extracurriculars. So we'll just go into extracurriculars. What they're also looking for is an overall holistic personality. So they need your academics, they need your grades, they need your scores, and they need your extracurriculars too. But and like I said, extracurriculars can be of two types: all around or into one thing. I was into one thing. Helps at places like Chicago. Some other places might prefer all around, but generally speaking, universities prefer both kinds of candidates. They value both of them. That would be my advice, and focus very well on the essays. And do not try to get the essays written from someone. An edit is good, but not the entire essay. Because the essay is how it is who you are. You're talking to the admissions counselor, and he can get to know you better. He can't know you through your grades, he can't know you through your scores.
Thank you so much. This
Thank
is
you.
such valuable advice. All the best.
Thank you so much.